Welcome back to the Human Nexus podcast. My name is Andrew Brazis. I am a marketing professional and private chef.
Welcome back. My name is Miss Laura Machiste. I am an online tarot reader, holistic massage therapist, and energy coach. And today we are talking about Capricorn season. If you're new here, then check out our other season episodes. If you are returning, welcome back. And we'll first go over what we have in Capricorn, and then I'll get into other things. But personally, I only have, I'm pretty sure it's the generational placement of Capricorn in
Mhm.
Neptune. Check, you have your chart open?
Yeah, I just pulled it up.
Do you have Capricorn in Neptune?
I do. I have Capricorn and Neptune. I have my moon's in Capricorn and Uranus as well.
Okay, so like there was like a generational thing. That's why I asked you because we're not that far
Oh,
in age. So
yeah.
Capricorn was in Neptune and Uranus for like a good amount of years.
Mm,
So that's my only Capricorn placements actually, the generational ones, which I
interesting.
personally feel like I would say maybe like 20 to 25 years. I could be wrong, don't hold me to it. But
Hmm.
when I think about that in like our generation, we are transforming what work and stuff like that looks like. So I find it very interesting because Capricorn rules the 10th house, all about like work, career, your public image, the world at large. Capricorn 10th house rules like your reputation as well. So I think it's interesting that our generation, I guess you could say the zillennials, you might be more millennial than I am, but
Yeah,
still close enough when like technology started. I feel like there was or is a breakthrough in this generation of how we work, what we work on, how long we spend at work. I think I even saw in the news Mexico, the world at large, Mexico actually, they upped their minimum wage like 13%, Capricorn work, stuff like that, like what you get paid, things along those lines. Any earthy energy, you kind of want to pay attention to, like the pentacle
mhm.
in connection to the tarot as well. But they raised their minimum wage by a certain percent and they changed their work week from, I didn't even know that Mexico was 48 hours. And now they're changing to a 40-hour work week. And you can even see in the US how we went from a strict 40-hour 9 to 5, and then whatever your 5 to 9 is, or later, earlier than that. It's definitely being transformed for sure. Even people say now too that 5:30 rush hour, it's more like 4:30 now. The roads start getting crazy a little bit earlier than usual. So
Yeah,
I'm awareness or observing it, I guess you could say.
yeah. I know there's been a big push to get out of the 40-hour work week. I mean, having so many planets in Capricorn, like I don't know. I grew up working 60, 70 hours a week in the last 5, 6 years. I mean, maybe even longer than that. I really push not working so much just because of like productivity is really important. So like I don't know if you're working a normal 9 to 5, you're not productive for 40 hours. You're just not. And so if you're productive for 10, you can do a lot more. Anyways, I feel really strongly about changing the way work culture is as far as like work being put in. So that lines up for me. And it's interesting too that this starts on December 22nd, which is like holiday. I mean, we were talking about holiday season last time, but like that's really like Christmas, New Year's here in the States, and that's like anti-work. Not anti-work, but I mean nobody's really working. What are your thoughts on that?
Right. I feel like holiday season is an interesting time because to mesh it in with Capricorn season, Capricorn
Hmm.
is ruled by the sea goat. Like they're not just a goat, they're a goat with like a mermaid tail. Yeah. So, despite them not being a mutable sign, they're not fixed, they're a cardinal sign, but they still have some mutable energy within them. So, I feel like the holiday season happening during the Capricorn season, you're either not working as much or you're working double time, you
Good
know?
point. Yeah, yeah, very good point. And it also makes sense too, because I'm doing some reading here. Excuse me. Like clear, achievable goals. And so that falls in on the New Year's resolutions. So like I
Yep.
feel like those two are kind of tied in a weird way.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we already went over how they changed up the calendar and this, that, and the other, but I
Hmm.
definitely feel like Capricorn energy with what's going on, how society's new year per se, it's this, it connects to them ruling the 10th house of your reputation and the
Hmm.
world at large, like society, collective, like everyone. I would say a lot of the times people confuse like Pisces 12th house energy with like collective energy. It holds a point to it somewhat, but Pisces rules the subconscious collectively, which we all have.
Hmm.
But in the world collectively, maybe not everybody has a job. That's where like the Capricorn energy would come in and it would rule that energy of if you're grounded or not with the collective and what's going on. So I definitely do feel like collectively during Capricorn season, a lot of people set new goals for themselves. And it is either something that they take with them through the following years or not. But sometimes, because Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, and Saturn is like the father of the planets, I feel like sometimes that gives a little bit of an energy where you may place, I want to say, less realistic goals during the new year. The ones that are probably harder to achieve, you save them, right, for
Hmm.
January 1st.
Yeah.
And that's where Saturn comes in because Saturn is that hard lesson learned planet. So that's why I feel like New Year's resolutions also don't stick as well because people will wait for that point in time.
Hmm.
But since it's Capricorn season, a lot of the times collectively, mentally, or energetically, we choose our hardest goals to wait for January 1st. And then when it
Hmm.
actually does come about, however you stick with them is however you stick with them. But I feel like that's where you can make Capricorn energy or season easier for yourself and also your goals easier for yourself, starting lower and opposed to harder. So if you're going to quit smoking on January 1st, going cold turkey during Capricorn season is probably not the
You know,
best
it's
idea.
interesting because we've had discussions about the astrological new year, and that's like what, in March, if I
Yeah.
remember correctly.
Hmm.
And so Capricorn in what's after Capricorn?
Aquarius.
Aquarius and then Pisces, and Pisces is the end of the zodiac technically, is that right?
Yeah.
So really what you're saying is don't set the long-term goals or don't try to finish the long-term goals in Capricorn season because it really doesn't even start until March, like the astrological new year.
Right. I would set like easier goals during January, but that's where
Mhm.
Saturn pushes you, where Saturn's like, well, no, start the hard goal right now.
Yeah.
And starting the more difficult goal or achievement you want for yourself will be easier when Mother Nature, Earth, Spring is favoring new, birthing
Mhm.
new self, reinventing yourself. During a Saturn ruled planet, that sounds like a hard reinvention to me.
Yeah. No, that's very accurate. And that tracks too, I would say, with what you were saying earlier with people not maintaining New Year's resolutions. I find it really interesting too that Capricorn season starts, or sorry, Sag season ends on the winter solstice here in the States, and Capricorn season starts that very next day. How does that transition tie into one another? So we talked about in the last episode, Sag season's like that final push of energy for the year of fire energy. What? Yeah. So I kind of interrupted you, but go ahead.
Oh no, it's okay. I was just like thinking of words. So Sagittarius season gives us that last like fire energy hurrah, where
Hmm.
you explore more, you adventure more, you research more, you learn more, you may study more, things along those lines, where like you're fueling that inspiration. The transition from Sagittarius to Capricorn season, at least in my perception, and everyone has a different truth, is more or less taking what you have in this new inspiration of learning and almost like hibernating with it, like getting deeper with it in a sense of, for example, say during Sagittarius season, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have this new idea. I want to start making candle. So this is going to be the best thing ever. So during Sagittarius season, I get the candle wax, I get the flavors, I get the colors, I get all of the stuff. And then as time goes on, maybe it takes a week or two for all of that to come in. And now I'm halfway through Sagittarius season. Maybe I created a label for them and I did all this stuff. Now it's Capricorn season. I actually have to make the candles. So
Mm,
it's like a trial and error. It's a little harder. Like I have to now take what I learned and put it into work. So I
mhm.
feel like Capricorn season gives you that. All right, you have all of your new information, you have all the tools that you have gotten and created, and now it's time to focus on it. And a lot of times, Capricorn season, and with my example of making candles, you're probably not going to make the first candle perfectly. You're
Yeah.
probably going to have to make a couple different candles until you get your right flow and how it's going to work for you. And oh my gosh, that was actually a great metaphor because doing that in Capricorn season, having the focus,
Mm.
perfecting it how you feel like it could be perfected, and then it flows the water bearer during Aquarius season, where
Oh,
you
I
kind of just
see.
like, it's like secondhand nature. Like, all right, I've already failed 10 times. So now I know the 10 ways it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Capricorn season will help you with that.
And that kind of goes into like the idea of birthing new ideas. Aquarian energy is like the younger sign. Isn't that typical? Like the
Aries
younger
is
energy.
younger.
Oh, that's your Aries. What did I think? Aquarius was like new, young, new.
Well, we are moving into the age of Aquarius, which is which could
Mm,
be considered the new age. So that could
mm.
be where you're getting
Yeah,
it from.
maybe. Yeah. Never mind. What are the like main Capricorn traits? Because we talked about before this about you having experienced Capricorns. So I'm curious to see your take, hear your take.
I would say they are commitment focused,
Hmm.
depending on if they are evolved or unevolved. So, for example, if you're dealing with an unevolved Capricorn, they want your commitment, but
Hmm.
they might not have to give it back. If it's
Yeah.
an evolved Capricorn, equal exchange of commitment, loyalty, stuff like that. So I would say they value commitment, but I would say that it's a good word to use, but some people like blow that word up.
Hmm.
So that's why I gave that example because it's not always them valuing the commitment they give. It's sometimes they
Yeah.
want it from you, but they won't feel the need to return it in favor. That would be like an unevolved. So if you're new here and you don't know those two terms that usually I go with, unevolved would be like the immature side of the sign, and evolved would be the mature side of the sign. All the signs have it, so that's where I go back and forth. So I would say very committed, very determined. They could be very workaholics. A lot of the times, the Capricorn is like the manager or the boss or the owner or a very important person at their job or somebody that people count on, stuff like that. I would say they could come off stoic, if that makes sense. I don't want to say not as lively, but just stoic, just like not as reactive. Maybe they don't have their facial features move as
I've
much.
I've
They're
gotten that. Like I said, I'm a Capricorn moon, and I've gotten that part in a lot of like previous relationships in a negative way. So, yeah.
because it's harder to read. So
Mm,
when
yeah.
you're harder to read to other people, you automatically trigger them,
Mm,
really.
yeah.
Unfortunately. In whatever ways, sometimes it's a big trigger, sometimes it's a small one, but
Mm,
I would say the word trigger because most of the time it's almost like when somebody's arguing with somebody and the other person's not giving them anything back and then the other person's just screaming at them. Like for some people, the silence will make the person just
get worse.
attack even more. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I was going to actually say to split the two, I would say an unevolved
Mm,
Capricorn stereotype would be like, I would say workaholic could be either or. It could be a good
yeah.
trait in them or it could be a bad trait in them. I feel like there's also an energy of kind of being too stoic, like
Hmm.
kind of like having like almost like we're like, hello, is there anybody in there type of thing. But I do feel like they have abilities to read people a little bit better than possibly other earth signs because of their sea goat nature, with them being half like animal, half like sea creature. So I definitely feel like an unevolved Capricorn will definitely, if they try, or maybe sometimes people do it unconsciously, if they try to piss somebody off, I feel like they'd have a good job at
I feel
doing
like
it.
you're talking about my life.
Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
No, it's funny because like I have been in the very like unevolved, immature space, and the things you're saying, I'm like, yeah, I totally can like recall multiple examples of all those things. And I would say that I'm more evolved now, and definitely more mature. And like, yeah, it all resonates. But also that's three placements, one being a moon. So I'm curious. I don't know any Capricorn sun or rising, so it's hard to like, you know, base that
I
off my own experience.
know a good amount of Capricorn suns. I do like their energy. I love Capricorn energy, to be
Mm,
completely honest. I do want to talk about the Capricorn moon for a second because I do know a couple of those as well. But Capricorn and Cancer are sister signs.
mm,
So Cancer rules the moon. So Capricorn being in the moon as your placement, the moon doesn't really like Capricorn being there that
mm,
much. I'm not sure if it's like if it super super hates it. There's a word for that, but I can't. It's like if it's its planet's downfall. It might be actually. Hold on, I'm going to look this up. But I know it could be a little bit harder for a Capricorn moon to like either emotionally regulate
mhm.
or emotionally mature, if that makes sense.
Well, so while you're looking that up, to second that, that's been my biggest struggle for sure. But once I like figured out the ways that I could regulate and like get in touch and in tune with my emotional side, it was like I unlocked something. It was just like immediate almost.
Yeah, it's not giving me the word that I'm looking for, so it might
Is
not
it in
be. It would
detriment?
be, yes, it would be the opposite of exalted. Because if
Hmm.
when it's exalted, it really, really likes being there. When it's
Yeah.
the opposite, I would say also Capricorn moon vibes would give off a sense of fear of vulnerability. It's almost like
Mm.
wanting to be vulnerable, but like
Yeah.
physically
Been there.
unable to.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah. Capricorn rising too, I would say could give off a similar vibe.
The other thing here that I just saw was practicality. And I feel like for me that checks out so hard because like I don't do or buy things unless they're practical. Like if I'm doing something, there's like a practical sense to it. Like the work that I'm doing or like even like the things that I eat, like it's all just from a practical standpoint, not so much like an emotional or whatever. So,
Right. But that shows evolution though, because I would say a unevolved Capricorn energy would probably buy things for no reason, buy things that they
which
don't need.
which I did as a little kid growing up. So 100%, yeah, resonate with that again. That's
Hmm.
wild. Mm.
Sometimes spending too much money too.
Yeah, been
Capricorns
there.
have a sense of like big buys. Like they
Yeah.
won't get a couple little things. They'll just like
Hmm.
blow it all on one thing.
Yeah, and that was part of my evolution as a Capricorn because I totally did that growing up.
Wow, you definitely evolved then because you also have a Taurus rising, right? So
Yep.
Taurus has a connection to like overeating or
Hmm.
undereating.
Yep. Been
So
there.
there could have been a time in your life where you like impulsively ate or like
Hmm.
restricted yourself really strongly. And since you are a chef, kind of putting those two earth placements you have in the big three with the Capricorn moon and the Taurus rising, you you
It's
definitely
it's
gives
funny
evolution.
because I was, I don't know, 21, 22, 23, much younger. And I went on a 5, 6 day cruise and I gained 17 pounds. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's dead on. That's that weight's totally lost by now. But that was a wild time. So yeah, overindulgence when it's on the
Hmm.
immature side. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's damn. So how does this, I guess I'm trying to figure out Sagittarius season fit really well with the holidays, but I don't
With
feel like Cap
Thanksgiving.
with Thanksgiving, I guess, but
Yeah.
I don't feel like Capricorn really fits in with Christmas, New Year's Eve, I guess, at least in like Western culture, but I'm trying to make that connection and I don't see it.
Buying things.
Oh yeah.
That's one, I would
Yeah,
say.
that's good. Overspending.
Exchanging things with other people, right?
Uh-huh.
Society, the world at large,
Hmm.
seeing people you haven't seen in a while, society. Oh, there you go. Remember how I said 10th house, like reputation? When you're
Oh,
at
yeah.
Christmas and people do this during Thanksgiving too, but you get the questions like during around the holidays too. If you maybe didn't see these people during
Mm.
Thanksgiving, like, oh, are you married yet? Or you met anyone yet? Or you got a job yet? Or like something along those lines
Yeah, like the
where,
self-image is like really important.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like I would go more or less towards the societal part of it where like you hear Merry Christmas from somebody that you don't really talk to all
Hmm.
year, but here they are, Merry Christmas. So I feel like it's more of like a society amplification, which definitely goes hand in hand with Capricorn ruling the 10th house and like the
Yeah.
world. But like the minor details, I feel like
Can
aren't
you
as specific.
can you explain the 10th house placement too again briefly?
Yeah, so the 10th house rules like your work, your
Hmm.
reputation at work, your reputation in the world in general.
So
10th
that would make sense. Like you were saying, like that would be, I mean, at the holidays, I think of like, what is it? The son of a gun, the Christmas Carol story with Scrooge.
Yes.
It's like it's all about his money and like lack of giving. But that's like, I think of Scrooge as like a Capricorn to the extreme.
Yes. You know what's even crazier is to connect the 10th house of like the reputation. During the movie, he transforms his reputation in the town.
What is that movie called? Uh, why do I not? This is like one of
I've
the
watched
few.
it like 1,000 times in a bunch of different renditions, like the Muppets
Yeah,
one, 12 Days of, no,
no, that's not it.
we got to figure that out. A Christmas Carol.
Yes, yes, A Christmas Carol is what it's called. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Capricorn energy. The
Yeah.
whole the
It
whole
screams
movie.
Capricorn energy. Yeah. And you know
Yeah.
what even screams it even more? During the movie when he's being haunted
Hmm.
by his past.
Hmm.
It's like he's being haunted by certain people he crossed paths with in society, and also like the subconscious level to it, where Capricorn is the sea goat. So
Hmm.
they have a little bit of, although they're an earth sign, they have water
Yeah.
flowing through somehow, which is the subconscious. And he was being haunted by his what, like a couple different, I know in different renditions that he's getting haunted by something that's like different, like I know in like the Mickey Mouse one, like I think he was haunted by like the different versions of himself, but I know in like a
Yeah.
couple of other ones he's haunted by something different. I'm watching that movie later. Good
Yeah.
bring up, that was a
Yeah,
good
that's a good one.
one.
Yeah, the ghosts of Christmas Past. What are they? There's three,
Oh, the
and I don't
past, the
remember.
present, and the future, I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah, yeah,
It
you're
shows
absolutely right.
him what he went through, or like who he was, or whatever, what he's doing now,
Hmm.
and what his future will look like if he continues what he how
Yeah.
he.
Damn, that's crazy. Because now that I'm like recalling the versions of that film, like that is exactly like if Capricorn had a movie, Capricorn season, that would just pair up so well.
Yeah.
Damn.
And anyone Capricorns watching this, we're not calling you a Scrooge for sure, even though I do know
Well,
some Capricorns that
as a Capricorn, I can I've been on that side of the fence, so I
you
totally
can
get it.
resonate.
Yeah,
You're like,
unfortunately.
I'll take it for everybody. It's
I'll take that one. Well, that's our wrap for Capricorn season and Christmas season. Merry Christmas if you celebrate.
yes, Merry Christmas if you celebrate, Happy Holidays, all that fun stuff. Stay happy, healthy, grounded. And if you are spending this holiday season by yourself, go through our channel. It's just like you're sitting there talking to us for a couple hours straight. There's a
Mhm.
bunch of things for you to go through. And that's what we have for you. And we'll see you next time. Bye.